Another amazing week of Lego creations. This week we have a little bit of everything. We have crabs, we have medieval build for the summer joust, and new entries to the Biocap. As always, remember that all the builders and the articles mentioned in this video will be linked in the description down below for you to go and check them out. Let's start as usual from the Instagram section. We have, I hope I pronounced this correctly, Genu Design Lego. Very interesting builds over here, and this is actually a series of build, a selection of ancient civilization vignette. Very, very interesting. I'm gonna show you just a few here, my favorites, but I highly recommend you to go and check out. I like small size mocks, and these are very, very interesting, representing all different civilization throughout the history. Very well done. Another collection of small vignette is by candy.bricks, another interesting profile to check out. And we have this very interesting, like, floral, trees, kind of nature kind of vignette with some animals as well. And they are all like linked to a certain color. So we have the scarlet forest over here. Then we have the copper woods. We have the golden meadows. We have the emerald bayou. This one I like really much, the Sapphire Isle, because it goes also tying in the color of the flowers with the water as well. And then the Violet Meadows. Very nice little build, nice way to play around with some plant pieces. Moving on, we have Velocijector with a very, very cool dinosaur build with this dinosaur photograph in the wild, outdoor. So very nice photography and excellent dinosaur build. Next up, some familiar faces. We have Dick and Liu with another very interesting build, which is the Wayside Shrine Temple of the Earth God. Very, very nice build with this red and black color scheme, with these two little statues at the front and this tree that goes around and embrace this shrine. Very, very good build. Then again, we have Nanan's creation, Nanan Zhang, with a kind of futuristic design, actually more a retro-futuristic design of this Saturn Streamliner, which is a passenger train that is on a suspended railway. I really like these rings. These are very, very cool. I don't know how they access the train here, but the design is excellent. And also, if you just look at the train, at the locomotive itself, is very, very nice. I love this curved design at the front in particular. Now, moving on into the article section, we have tips and bricks with a techniques discussion about solid color water. Many builders feature over here. They are linked here on the side, and you can go and check out all these different water techniques that have not been done with trans-clear parts, and they still look amazing. Some very, very cool techniques over here to check out. Then we move on to New Elementary, when we have an article by Thomas Jenkins about new mocks made with new parts from Lego Super Mario set. So you can go and check out all these sets over here. We have a new banana peel and some new additional pieces, and you can see also some mocks. There is some train build. My favorite are actually these shell tanks, and also I like this B2 droid. Very, very cool. Very, very well done with the pieces used there for the wheels and the other shell piece there, the bigger one on top. Then we move on to Brick Nerd, where we have another conversation piece authored by the guys at the Builder Improvement Initiative, and this is how to detail a mock. So there's a different point of view here, different suggestion. It's not an easy thing to do, to know when it's time to add details and when maybe it's time to take something out, to not take out a little bit from to get distracted a little bit in the mock because there's too much detail. So the balance is something a little bit difficult to find sometimes. Then we have the usual monthly contest roundup here by Markus Rollbuhler. So here we have a few challenges, a few contests that we already mentioned regularly here on the channel, and a few extra. So if you're looking for some challenges, for something to build, then go and check out this recap. Another interesting article is this one by Huet about castles and colors. So here he is talking about castles that are not built in the usual sort of gray scale. but adding colors. And also there are some mocks from other builders, and there is also a little interview, let me scroll a little bit faster, with Anthony Wilson over here. So there is also a little bit here of interview and the process behind how we work on his mocks. Moving on, some cool builds feature on the Brothers Brick. Again, I would have loved to feature that already in my video, but since Brothers Brick already featured them, then we are gonna go straight from their page. So we have dewback bricks with this very interesting build, which is this sort of big gray turtle with a city on top of it. I don't know exactly what's the inspiration behind this. I think it's a Chinese sort of myth or tradition, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong here in the comments. But this is a very cool build, very nice landscape, and I love also all that dark blue water at the bottom. Next up, we have a medieval build by Kofi. This is a blacksmith shop, very, very cool. It is inspired obviously by the Blacksmith Lego set, because we can see the stairs going up, we can see the tree on the left. So a little bit is kept over there, but you can see a lot of different colors and different techniques to build this very, very cool build. I really recommend you to go and check it out closer, because there's a lot of interesting details to find over here. Another interesting build is this one by Olle Moquist, which is a very interesting street corner build. There's details all around, so you can check out more pictures and see all around this build. And there are also some nice Easter eggs, for example, the little Lego duck there on top of the store on the left, which is a call to the one of the first Lego toys. Now let's move on to the contest section. We start from the summer Joust that is still on. A new prize has just dropped with this from Isaac Snyder. So this is the one of the Portal-born prices. I think there is some other prices out yet. It's not here on my screen now, but you can go and check out few more prices. Cool prices has been announced already. But we can also go and see some of the cool submission that we have seen this week. For example, we have this Life in Ruins by Charlie Jones. This is for the 12 by 12 vignette category. Very nice color scheme with this black, gray, and different shades of yellow with the 2-liter butterflies as well. Then we have a bigger build here along the Silk Road by T86. This is for the Pick Your Poison category. Very, very interesting kind of Middle Eastern inspired build with these palm trees and this very iconic sorry, I might have touched the microphone, and this iconic architecture. Then it's time for the Biocap. The results of round 2 are out, so you can go and check out the results here and see here on the Flickr page all the different submissions from everyone. The final round has been announced also. So then for the final round, they will build the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So each of the 4 builders will have one of these prompt, which is death, war, famine, and pestilence. Now let's see some of the builds that were my favorites. Some of these have moved to the next round. Some of these unfortunately didn't, but this is just my taste, reminding again that I'm not an expert in constructions building. So we start with Dylan Mievis that we featured already last time, a couple of weeks ago. This is for the sub-team Spades. Of course, very recognizable here, fitting the team very well. I really like the stance of this figure and the use of these white cape pieces. And of course, you can find a lot of very interesting parts usage as well. In this sub-team space, the one moving on is Joy Klusnick with this sort of green king of leaves. There's some very interesting parts usage. In particular, I like the fern pieces used there for the sword and the leaf pieces used for the shoulder of this character. Very well done. For the Maestro, that now I don't remember which category was it, but anyway, this brown paper bag built by the Maestro move on to the final, and this is a stunning build, and I really like in particular the color contrast. There is this gray creature and this other figure at the front with totally different color scheme, and it looks so good. And I really like also the little side build. In particular, the music notes are very, very interesting. So this is another one of those builds that if you look closer, you can find a lot of very, very cool parts usage. Then for the sub-team diamonds, we have a very, very cool build by Joust Swansus. Again, sorry if the pronunciation is not correct. All the diamonds you want. Very, very, very cool build with this character a bit leaning back with the shoulder, with this curve form. This is very, very interesting. But this one didn't move on because there was another amazing build in this category, in this diamonds category, by Panuvara. This is incredible. There's an amazing part usage, and then again, like I cannot even think about having this sort of shapes in a character. Would be interesting actually to see a little bit of behind the scene on how this character is staying together. So it would be nice to see a behind the scene. But again, here if you look at the parts usage, it's very, very cool. Just look at the hat with that roulette on top, which is like a big kind of container piece, like barrel piece with all the cheese lobes inside. Very, very clever. Amazing build over here. And then lastly, my favorite one for the art category is the Tin Man by Margit. This is very, very cool. And again, this is a build that other than the parts usage, I really, really like the use of colors, the contrast of colors between this gray figure at the back, the art at the front, and also the yellow at the bottom of this kind of sandy terrain. Very, very, very cool. Very, very good choice of color. And again, especially I really like the art with all these round pieces. Is extremely well built. Then we have also the challenge, the Time for Crab 2025. So you're gonna see a lot of fun and different and sometimes weird build crab related in the community these days. This is by Lego designer Poaturon, which is with Max Davison behind this little challenge with these Horseshoe Crabs. Very, very fun build. Then we have Jan Willem Lunen with this Crabtain America. The name is excellent, by the way, but if you look at the build is also amazing. Nice, smooth, no gaps, no weird parts. Everything is just perfectly balanced, well curved. The colors are perfect, and you can clearly understand what is representing. Very well done. Then we have another one that was very fun to me. This one by moptoptrev, which is a Lego crab apple. Very, very cool. You can see, of course, recognize the apple shape, plushes on a tree. So is in the natural habitat. And again, another really fun crab build. And then I have also my own submission with this super Crabio world. Not the best of the names, but we have a crab Mario that is going there for a question mark and chased by a Koopa and a Goomba. They all shape as crabs. So this was a little fun build, little bit cursed maybe. And you can see I use the parts from the Mario Kart, the nose and the mustache in particular. I don't recommend you to go and see how the Mario Kart look without the nose and the mustache. Those are parts that we need to keep on the set actually. Remember to go and check out the challenges on Lego Ideas. So that we have the Build Your Hobby contest still on, and A Night to Remember in the Shire for the Lord of the Rings, while I think it's just closed the submission for the 3 Lego House contest category. Quickly, let's close with the YouTube section. A lot of interesting stuff on Beyond the Brick. There's quite a few that you should check out this week. There's I love the Indiana Jones one. There's a lot of stuff to see. There's a Coruscant getaway, very cool. The Olympic Games, but my favorite was the one with the spaceship. This is a very, very cool sorry, not one builder, a multiple ship here. I think it's Scott Whelan that build them. Very, very, very cool. There's like 3-4 amazing ships to go and check out. I think they all mostly built for September, which is another challenge we will talk about maybe in a couple of months. Then we have Hippolyte Bricks with a Lego room tour. Congratulations on the 10,000, actually now already 12,000 subscribers. I always like to see how other Lego room look like. I have a small collection. I don't have a massive one. So I like to see how other people organize their own building space. Then we have a new channel, the Bobalag channel. We feature some builders from Bobalag previews with some amazing builds that been in the community recently. They started a YouTube channel here. We already have 3 videos. For example, we can see some of the Geonosis series of mocks and some other stuff. Very, very cool. Hopefully they will put out some more videos along the way. Then on my channel, we have a new set of habitats, the Batman and Joker habitats, a little Batcave and a little Joker's Manor that were really fun to build. I also have the behind-the-scene video for my members, my vlog, to see the behind-the-scene of these 2 habitats and also of the next 2 sets of habitats that will come out probably in a couple of weeks. If you want to support the channel, please consider to leave a like, comment and subscribe, or go and check out previous episode of This Week in Bricks. Here you can see my playlist and on screen also the link to my previous episode. Thank you very much for watching and I will see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao!